In this video, we're going to take a second pass at a custom AI flight deals agent with vibe coding. And the first time I tried to do this, I tried to use the open source browser use library, which essentially allows you to send a prompt to their model or whatever, and it kind of parses that to create playwright instructions. It had a lot of issues because it kind of runs in a circle here. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that step out, and we're actually going to try to use playwright directly via vibe coding. We're going to start all over. I copied and pasted the instructions, and you can see them here. And I edited them for playwright. I gave it the docs here. I'm just going to go ahead and paste that there just in case it has trouble finding it. I don't think it will. You know, to recap the intent here, I have a bunch of airline miles with American Airlines, and I want to optimize those miles essentially by looking at a variety of different locations and I guess I need to create those, pull those in actually from the previous project. There we go. And actually, as I have it initially laid out, it's not using AI at all, but I have several places where I think it would be good to use AI to add some dynamicness to this, to where it doesn't just search for the locations that I've done. It can actually find other locations. It can use my list to come up with other ones. It can, once I find locations, it can start to create like plans for that using AI. But the first step is actually to get it to interact with the American Airlines website correctly, which we're unable to get browser use to do. So we're going to go ahead and execute starting instructions. Hit go on here, and we'll start the clock and see what we can do in basically an hour. Okay, that took about 3.5 minutes. It actually had me do a bunch of different stuff, but it created this flight deals thing. I don't like to run it within here for all sorts of reasons. Largely, I feel like it makes it a little bit harder to view what's going on here. So we're going to do Python flight deals.py and see what happens. Starting, loaded 7 locations, selected for Miami. Okay. Flight deal search completed. Okay, it just did the initial steps as I instructed it to do, so that was correct. It actually followed where I wanted to stop. I'm kind of tempted just to see if we can have it write the playwright code and see if it will do it just straight out of the gate. Let's go ahead and do that, and then if that doesn't work, we'll step back and do item 2 here, and we probably need to do that. I'm actually going to save a copy of this script right here, so it makes it easier for me to roll back. Okay, so it did that in about 1.5 minutes, so let's see what happens if we try to run it again. New York. Okay, it's loading this up. And it's doing nothing. So I'm actually going to roll back this. We're going to delete this right here. We're going to start a new one, and we're going to rename this to the original one. And what we're going to do is we're going to give it instructions to create a script to help identify the proper DOM elements on AI.com to search for redeeming miles at specified start and end date to target location. Let's call this, we'll call it identify DOM, and let's do send. Okay. So let's see. Let's just run this right here. Python identify DOM. So, okay, we're going to, dang it, I should have copied it before. Because we kind of want to roll back, and having the junk code in here, I guess we did the identify DOM. We're not going to be using that right now. I'm just going to identify it myself. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to create a list of fields manually. Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to be able to do a good job of doing this for me, and then we'll come back and we'll feed it into the model. Okay, that took about 5 or 10 minutes. Let's do this. So use the following DOM information to try to get the script to submit to search for flight deals in Playwright on AA.com. Okay, so it's trying to do it within a new, try to create a new script. We don't want to do a new script. Create this code within flightdeals.py. Okay, that took a couple minutes. It looks like it's here, and what we'll do is, let's see if it'll actually, whoops, no, crap. That's not what we want to run. Invalid date range. Okay, it says it was fixed. Let's go run it again. See if we can get it to go for it. Okay, again, an issue. Okay, another go at it. I kind of scolded it for saying that the date ranges are pretty consistent, so they should not have a problem with it. Okay, nothing is happening. Okay, so it's basically getting stuck. It's just opening this up and then doing navigating to AA.com and just sticking there. So what we're going to do is ask it to add some more debugging statements and some more detail to them, because maybe it's trying to do other stuff. It's navigating there. I'm not sure exactly what's going on here. The code isn't crazy long yet, so it's possible I could go navigate in here and see if I could find it. In fact, since we have the navigating there, it's possible that it's going to there, so that's working, and then wait for load state, that it's having trouble identifying that the page has been loaded. That might be the issue. All right, we're going to run it again, and we'll see what kind of information we get. Okay. Waiting for network idle. So there we go. So it's the waiting for network idle that is the issue. I'm also going to, well, let me inspect this. We want to, oh, what just happened? Okay, so it's just sitting here waiting for the network idle. So what we're going to do is I'm going to make a note here that it's getting to this line and it's having issues. So we're just going to have it wait like a hard 5 seconds, and that's it. And at this step, and see if we can get it to move forward from here, because it doesn't take that long to load. 5 seconds should be plenty of time most of the time, and so we'll that should enable us to make this work. All right. maybe technically not the most optimal way to code, but let's be honest, this should be plenty of time. Waiting 5 seconds. There we go, it clicked. All right. Oh no. It's doing the waiting for network idle thing again. All right. Okay, so again, it's just got a bunch of waiting for network idles. For some reason, that's not working. So we're just gonna have it wait a little bit. And actually, there's no reason to wait for it to load for more than let's actually just do between a second, because I think there's that one part where the city happens where it does take a little bit for it to load. So we're gonna send this off and have it do a better job of creating a more usable script here. Okay, that took a few seconds, or a few minutes, and we'll go ahead and go in here and see if we can get this to work. 5.3 seconds. It added a longer delay. It kind of... Okay. Redeem miles. Okay. If we're clicking the search button, we wouldn't... What's the order? It's... Okay. It did not complete successfully, so there's a couple things. I think we need to make this bigger. I'm going to go ahead and set this to 1500. I think that actually, 1800 and 1500. There's that cookies button that's coming up that might be getting in the way. But also, let's check the order of operations here. So, interesting, it initiated this screenshot, which I kind of like, actually. I think that's going to be useful in the future, but we're not really there yet. It looks like it's having trouble clicking the different buttons, so this has gotten long enough. So we're getting errors trying to click the destination and start date and end date buttons. Let's also watch this, because I think that the thing needs to be bigger. So we'll see. Whoops, stop. Copy and paste the actual outputs into here. Okay. Let's just accept all. I'm not really sure exactly what is done here. It does feel like we're getting into the point to where it might be having some issues. That's going to be hard for it to paint itself out of. Okay. It's waiting for autocomplete suggestions. Why is it not? It's weird. We're going to cancel. We're just going to start it over again and see what happens. Because it actually did better that time. Maybe I need to make the window not so tall. Okay, so it did the redeem miles. Miami, Florida. It's not doing... Okay, I wonder if it'll just... It's going to click the search button. See what happens if we just put in the city. We don't actually select something. Okay, it did not work. So it looks like it did a lot of that correctly, except it had trouble with the location. So, I wonder if it'll let us just do the city name, and if we just submit it, it'll kind of figure it out. Or give us multiple options from there. Additionally, the script is kind of ending when after the submit button, which closes the window. So we needed to, I've just added like a 10-minute time delay so that it stays on for a while. Okay, I did that pretty quickly. Let's go ahead and open this up. We're at 42 minutes. Okay, redeem miles. Orlando, Florida. 529. 61. There we go. Now let's see what happens. I'm going to pause and see if it can get the request. Okay, so the delay, the time didn't work there. I mean, the time to just let it wait did work. It is the target location that we're having issues with. So I need a slightly different approach here that is, and they have a few extra buttons on there that I'm going to try out. So what we'll do is we will inspect this element, and we're going to copy this element. And we're going to click here, and then we'll inspect this element. So we're going to go into this part. Oh wow, okay. Well, that's actually good. Okay, so instead of going through that picker, if we can find the airport code, then we can actually just put in the airport code. So we're going to switch things up a little bit. We're actually going to add AI here to convert it to the airport code. Actually, what we're going to do is we're just going to convert these into airport codes manually, and that'll be that to make this a little bit easier. The script might actually run just like just fine, like without any new edits. Now that I've made it just airport codes, and I used ChatGPT to create these. So let's run this and see if it does it correctly. Okay, that seemed to work. So that was really good. Now we're at the second step. That's great. We're basically successful at this point to being able to get it to display these tickets. Now what we need to do is we need to actually scrape this information from here so that we can get these ticket prices. And actually it's going to have to kind of navigate through. I wonder if we click this, you got to go smallest, so we probably want like typically we want no stops. Yeah, and the cheapest non-stops, and we'll kind of default to that. Not all of these will have that, or will that make sense? But you know, pay a few extra 1,000 points, so I don't have. So it takes the flight time in 1/3. A pretty simple thing we actually could do here is get the filter here, the sort here, and then we can actually take a screenshot of this right here, and then send that to an AI model to extract out the data. Like a Claude with Vision is probably what we would use, and then have it click through. So if we click through on this first one, and then it goes to the second one, we wait for it to load. We have the same things here, and we could actually have it scroll down. I wonder how we could. We don't want it to scroll all the way down, so we might have to figure out how to scroll down. It looks like it's kind of a fixed amount. I wonder if there's some way to press down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 times on the second one. I think it needs to go down a little bit further because it has this up here, the first selected flight. It keeps these filters, so it can take a screenshot and then send that back. And that's actually the information that we need. So it'll extract this this and this price here, and then the price in terms of miles and the fee. I think that could actually work. So let's give that a try. We are at 53 minutes. I'm not sure we'll make it in under an hour, but actually this feels like we're pretty close to getting a solution here. Okay, so now we got a pretty long prompt here, and actually I'd like to do, let's actually number all of these. I think that helps it do it step by step. Remember to have the randomized wait time between each DOM interaction. So we'll do 4 here, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, and then we'll just make note. This might be too much for it to handle, but let's see. Let's see what happens. Send, and we are at a little bit over an hour here, but again, it seems like we're really, really close to where I could run this script automatically. I could create like an automatic script to run this 5 times a day, 10 times a day for the next week, maybe more, and see what data is extracted and look at all that data and then make a decision on what kind of deals I can get with my points. Okay, so far so good. It only took a couple minutes to build that script. This is weird. I wonder if there's something about this way I'm doing the browser where it understands and it's waiting, making us wait, because I would never get this when I'm running this manually. But let's see what happens. Okay, it's so far so good. It's doing the nonstop only. It sorted correctly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, it's only gonna get 3 flights, but I think that's all that there is. Okay, so screenshot. Did it actually send this off to? Let me see if it actually sent this off to the to Claude, or if it's gonna wait until the after the 6 minute, 10 minutes before it sends that off. Actually, this worked really well because it picked it selected the least expensive one and it went on to the next screen. So it did do that correctly. Okay, so I need to have it pull in the environment variables for Claude. That was the issue there. Okay, so I'm just going to tell it here. Okay. I'm going to accept. Just looks like it wasn't pulling in the API key correctly. All right, I'm going to pause this. Okay, so we got it to where it's consistently doing the first screen, which it could not get with browser use to do correctly. So I could not get the browser use to ever click the redeem miles button. So we're already way ahead of the game. And I believe once we figure out the screenshot thing, we will actually be good, very close to good to go. Now maybe we can do this in less than an hour and a half. This is still way faster. I've never used Playwright before, and it looks like it's doing it right. Did the nonstop correctly, got that right out of the gate. It's sorted correctly. It's scrolling down. One thing at a time. Come on, screenshot. Let's go. Let's go. Let's see. Okay, preparing message for Claude API. I did not write the prompt. Come on, baby. Claude's analysis successfully saved. Let's see what it did. All right, so actually we are at the end of the script right now. We're very, very close. Let's see what the analysis shows. Okay, so let's see. It did, for some reason it didn't catch the date. That's fine. Departure time. 925. Well, it grabbed one of those. Okay, so 20K. We don't need the first class, but it did that. 1120. Okay, so it grabbed one of those. It's fine if these are out of order, actually. 24K, so 632 to 819. 24K. Wait, it missed the top ones. I wonder if it's sending a screenshot of the wrong section. No, it looks like it's showing this here. Wait. Oh, it scrolled down too far. Interesting. How did it give a screenshot? Okay, so actually it just didn't send the right screenshot. Did it scroll down too far before it took the screenshot? And that is also shows why why it didn't have a date, because it cut off this top part. Let me see where it's taking the screenshot. Okay, so for some reason it scrolled down too far the previous time, and it still went a little bit too far to not show the date. I'd like to have that included in the data, but it did extract this correctly, so we're doing really good. I'm going to reduce the amount of pressing the down key. So we'll go in here and we'll go pressing the down. Pressing the... Why is it not? Okay, that's weird. Maybe pressed down. Okay, so we're gonna do, we'll just do like 4 times instead of 7. Okay, so we'll do that, but then now we need to do the same thing and grab the information from the return flight. So that's actually, we're really close. We need to scroll down on the next string. It's already should be sorted and filtered as we want it. So we need to scroll down. We'll do a little bit more. We'll do 7 times on that one, and then we'll take a screenshot and do the analysis. Okay, here we go. Hopefully this is our final step and this will actually work and we get this in under an hour and a half. Cut it down a lot for you as I go through here, and I think this is kind of what you can expect from a lot of vibe coding. There still was manual work in me identifying the DOM. At first I tried to get them to do it for me, and so this would have been a lot faster if I'd had playwright experience. I could have just gone and be like, all right, we just need, here's the DOM information for each item. Let me just give it to you right out of the gate, and it probably would have saved me half an hour of time. Okay, here we go. Let's get this party started. Let's see if we can get this to actually work. So far it's done a really good job of waiting for this appropriately for these flights to load, and goes immediately into the nonstop versus multi-stop, and so it seems to be doing that appropriately. And now let's see if it does the return flight analysis correctly. Okay, so return flights 18K with 77K. It leaves at 11:59. This is beautiful. And then depart flights, it also got it correctly. The one thing I need to do is I need to give it, tell it not to document the business or first class just in the prompt. I think that's really super simple, but we can find that in here. Claude, where does it do the prompt for Claude? Let's see. Actually, what we can do is we can do so we search for the model name. We can go in here, please analyze this. Actually, this is too long. Let's take this and we'll put it in a notepad with word wrap. Extract the following information that you see. Ignore any, do not extract any information from flights from business or first class flights. Ignore them. These more expensive flights. Okay. So we'll just paste. And we'll go to the second one. I don't like it. Stop. A and B. Okay, so that way we should be able to just have the least expensive flights. Again, we don't really care about the class there, and we can run this on a regular basis. This is great news. And so basically what we'll do is we can run this as many times as I probably will create a script that runs it over the next like 2 weeks, just on a very consistent basis. And then what it will do is then what we can, a simple way to do this is to, instead of trying to figure out, okay, how do we analyze the data or whatever, I'm just gonna write another script, give it an example of the different, kind of the naming format. So if we go in here, we can tell it, find all of the Claude analysis files that are depart and return, grab the information from there, and create a script. So it's going to create a script that basically compiles all this information into, let's say, a CSV. And then we can open up the CSV and analyze it, and probably create another script that groups that information, that processes that information a bit more. So pretty cool, actually. I would say this one is a smashing success. Even though it took me an hour and a half to do this one. Again, if I had known more, this is my first time working with Playwright. Next time I do something with Playwright, what I'll do is I will just be ready with the DOM elements right out of the gate. And so I think I'll be able to do this a lot quicker. Thank you to AA's website for being pretty easy to automate. I think overall, there's probably a lot more complicated things other than the target, the destination. I don't see any reason, anything in here that was really challenging. Everything else, it worked really well. So I can just run this over and over again and start gathering this data. And so now I have essentially an AI agent that will help me find the best deals to use my miles. And I did it and with vibe coding. So thank you very much for watching. If you like this one, like it. And if you have anything else that you think would be cool to build with vibe coding, please let me know. Leave a comment below. Subscribe for more awesome content like this, and have a great day. Bye. Okay, so a quick update. It's a day later, and I've removed the Claude data extraction because that costs money. And so I used the vibe coding to I had to go manually find the elements. Now there's a lot of duplication of the elements to scrape the data from the pricing, and so it was actually having a lot of trouble, and I was getting kind of frustrated with it because it would do duplicates and it would miss stuff. So I just had it couldn't figure out how to like not do duplicates, and so I just let the duplicates be there, and then I had it, in post scrape out the duplicates. Long story short, what we can do here is I also took it and I ran it runs every single one. So it will run for the target locations and target time ranges. There's really 4 target time ranges and 7 locations, and so it's going to run 28 every single time. Just going to run them all the way through, and this way, since it costs less money, and then there's like a 1 to 10 minute random delay between them, so this happens a lot faster. You can see it took about 4 hours, and it ran all of them, and that should have pulled multiple flights, usually 1, 2, 3, 4, in that range of flights per search, and that's both depart and arrive. And so very interesting data has come out of it. But let's run this to, and then also I had it create this script here, come on, that processes all of the JSON outputs into a convenient format for me to view. So let's go into the CSVs. We'll pull this up and let's zoom in. So we're going to remove these blanks and we're going to sort by smallest. So there's some really interesting things. If I go, so SJO is, actually we want to do, let's just do returning. So because on the depart, it only gives you the price for this first flight. It doesn't include the second one. So what's interesting here is, so I ran this on the same day. This run was only 2 minutes apart, but in this one, the fees were actually $7 instead of $77. So that's really interesting. So that's a really interesting thing to find, because now I know when I do my search, if the fees are $77 to keep searching, maybe even just a few minutes later, and to get it down to $7 to save myself $70. But this is interesting. So this is San Jose, Costa Rica. Very fun place. I went there last year. Definitely want to go back. This is not that many miles. I have. I could do 3 trips on this amount of miles. So that's pretty awesome. MCO, that's Orlando. I have a cousin in Orlando and Denver. I have a lot of friends in Denver. So this is good. So this is telling me a lot about what some of the opportunities are. I'm happy to see this data, and I can just keep running this script, and I can add more locations. I could take a single location and put a longer time range if I wanted to, or add a bunch of locations and pick a specific time frame if I know which times I have off. So this is actually really useful, as I'm still accumulating points on a rewards credit card for American Airlines. Really a good result, and I plan on keeping running this, and it's really not an AI agent at all. I could add agentic stuff to it, but there's really not a reason to. So for example, if I wanted to create like plans, I should probably just do that in ChatGPT. If I wanted to brainstorm more locations, again, probably just do that in ChatGPT or Claude in the chat bot itself, or create a separate agent that does just that. And instead of having randomness in it, just have it run it over the whole list every single time, and see what happens. So really cool stuff. Very happy I made this, and I'm going to definitely be using this for quite some time and running this on a regular basis. And I could see setting up a script also to have this run again every day, or 2 or 3 times a day, just to keep getting these numbers. So thanks for watching, and have a great day. Bye.